To avoid being affected by the illusion, Ji Yushin had to close his eyes. However, unlike Gao Changkong, he didn't possess such powerful senses, thus his combat ability and sense of direction were greatly affected. Zhang Yi and Sun Lushuan attacked him from 3 directions. The battle was fierce, and the fighting leveled the land within several miles of the command center. In the end, Ji Yushin died because he had overdrawn his life force using compound number 5, succumbing to exhaustion. This was a captain-level monster, powerful in attack and extremely difficult to kill. No wonder so many people didn't believe Deng Shintong's faked death. Zhang Yi looked at Ji Yushin's corpse and let out a long sigh of relief, saying it was a pity Gao Changkong and the others escaped. Deng Shintong gritted his teeth and said they couldn't escape. Even if they escaped Blizzard City, they'd be listed as S-class wanted criminals and hunted down by the entire Huashu kingdom. They were doomed. Zhang Yi said that with Gao Changkong's strength, killing him would be very difficult, as his abilities are incredibly monstrous. Although his deductive abilities are somewhat different from predicting the future, he can use this power multiple times in battle, allowing him to improve his strength much faster than ordinary people. Especially when he selects a specific target, he can train them specifically. Adding to this the 6 powerful seals of the Heavenly Dance Wheel, his power is quite terrifying even among captain-level individuals. Zhang Yi pondered that Deng Shintong's ability index is only 9,300, so Gao Changkong must be at least around 9,600, and he should be the closest to the level of Epsilon among the superhumans, besides himself. Just as the 3 were talking, Zhu Zhang's voice came from not far away, telling them not to worry, he couldn't escape. Zhang Yi looked over and saw Zhu Zhang looking tired, but thanks to the protection of the others, he wasn't seriously injured, only slightly scraped his arm during the retreat, which was now bandaged. Zhang Yi couldn't help but ask if he still had a backup plan, and Zhu Zhang smiled slightly, saying of course, and looked up at the sky, saying he's doomed. Zhang Yi didn't know where Zhu Zhang's confidence came from, since if he hadn't arrived in time, Zhu Zhang would have been killed by Gao Changkong long ago. Now he was showing up with such a confident air. But just then, Zhang Yi suddenly heard the clanging sound of chains being dragged. He and Deng Shintong looked in the direction of the sound, and suddenly, a misty fog rose in the air, and the clanging of the chains grew closer. From the mist emerged 2 iron chains, one jet black, the other pure white, gradually eroding from form to intangible substance, rapidly spreading forward. An aura of death permeated the area around the chains, eerie, terrifying, and instilling a fear that pierced the very depths of one's soul. Zhang Yi's inner warning system screamed, and he instantly teleported hundreds of meters away, keeping a safe distance from the 2 chains. Deng Shintong and Sun Lushuan did the same. A moment later, they saw the direction the 2 chains pointed to, a bewildered Yan Yun Guard Major. He didn't even know what was happening before his body was tightly bound by the chains. He screamed in terror, then struggled desperately, but no matter how hard he tried, using his special abilities, he couldn't break the chains in the slightest. The previously confident Zhu Zhang's expression immediately changed drastically upon seeing this, saying how could this be? The chains binding the Yan Yun Guard Major tightened further. At this moment, Zhang Yi witnessed a scene that sent chills down his spine. From the mist, 2 tall figures slowly emerged, both over 2 zhang tall, one dressed in a black robe, the other in a white robe, both wearing tall, pointed hats. The black hat read, "We're capturing you," the white hat read, "You've come too." Zhang Yi couldn't help but whisper, "Black and white impermanence." Almost everyone in Huashu Kingdom was familiar with the appearance of these 2 ghostly figures. The 2 ghostly figures, exuding an eerie aura, floated towards the Yan Yun Guard bound by chains, their feet seemingly floating in the air. Across the ruins, everyone was too terrified to move, and even Zhang Yi and his companions instinctively fell silent, because they sensed an extremely terrifying power of rules emanating from those 2 ghostly figures, far exceeding that of a captain. The Yan Yun Major was utterly terrified, and the Yan Yun guards beside him were desperately trying to free him, but no matter what they did, shooting with guns, attacking with their supernatural abilities, the chains remained unmoved. In an instant, the 2 ghostly messengers were upon him, the soul-binding chains held firmly in their palms. The 2 ghostly figures didn't even glance at the others, dragging the Yan Yun Major's body forward. Before them, a colossal platform slowly appeared, like a gigantic gate, stretching to the heavens, towering into the clouds, its immeasurable height unknown. The 2 demons bound Major Yan Yun's body to the platform. The gate's form gradually became clear, but when everyone saw it clearly, a chill ran down their spines. For it was not a heavenly gate, but a gigantic guillotine. Thousands of feet in the sky, a jet-black, sharp guillotine hung high above the clouds, its blade tilted, capable of cleaving a human or animal in 2 with a single stroke. Major Yan Yun was terrified, screaming desperately, but his body was firmly bound by soul-locking chains, he could not break free. The guillotine plummeted from the heavens, crashing down moments later, cleaving him from the top of his head to his feet. Major Yin Yun's body was cleanly split in two. From the front, you might even think he was completely unharmed. But as soon as the blade fell, all the strange phenomena vanished, the ghostly messengers and the guillotine dissolved into smoke, but the body of Major Yin Yun lay broken in two, head and tail, lying on the ground. This horrific death sent a collective gasp through everyone, because from beginning to end, no one had seen anyone lay a hand on the Major. It was as if he were cursed. Xu Zheng trembled, not from fear, but from rage, saying, "Gao Changkong, you've tricked me again." Zhang Yi, quick-witted, sensed something was amiss and asked Commander Zhu what was going on, who was targeting their people. Xu Zhang gave Zhang Yi a deep look, remaining silent for a long time before slowly saying, "I asked that person in the Shangjing region to help me eliminate the traitor Gao Changkong. This is his ability, Hell's Guillotine. Anyone targeted by him will be killed, it's a rule of certain death." He added through gritted teeth, "That damned Gao Changkong, he must have foreseen all of this, he still managed to escape." This incident deeply affected Zhang Yi. Rumors had circulated that the Epsilon-level superhuman in Shangjing possessed the ability to hunt down predators across vast distances, but this was his first time witnessing it firsthand. He was awestruck by the Hell Guillotine's terrifying power, and the force of its rules instilled a deep fear in him. Zhang Yi pondered whether it was possible to escape if he were targeted by this power. In reality, Xu Zhang had originally intended to use the Hell Guillotine to kill Gao Changkong, but Gao Changkong had somehow managed to redirect the attack, meaning certain conditions had to be met to ensure the Hell Guillotine's fatal strike. A sense of vigilance crept into Zhang Yi's heart, and he realized he had to be extremely cautious about all the demands Blizzard City made of him, especially regarding his personal belongings, as they might become Blizzard City's weapon against him in the future. Xu Zhang, filled with anger and regret, was also relieved to have survived unharmed. He looked at Zhang Yi with deep gratitude and admiration, saying they owed him a great debt and that if he hadn't arrived at the crucial moment, they would all be in grave danger. Sun Luxuan and Deng Xintong also looked at Zhang Yi with gratitude, and even the proud Deng Xintong wasn't angry that Zhang Yi had stolen his thunder. Zhang Yi smiled inwardly but humbly said he only did what a citizen of the Jiangnan region should do. Xu Zhang was very satisfied with Zhang Yi's attitude and had already thought of 100 ways to promote him. After the battle, the heads of various departments and units in Blizzard City rushed over, all pledging their loyalty to Xu Zhang, crying and begging for mercy. They were useless when the fighting started, but now they were adept at showing loyalty. Xu Zhang narrowed his eyes, scanning everyone present, knowing there must be someone among them colluding with the Reincarnation Squad, since the Reincarnation Squad alone couldn't have bypassed everyone and carried out this operation. From Xu Zhang's cold eyes, Zhang Yi could see a massive purge about to begin. Xu Zhang praised Zhang Yi and told him to go rest, saying he would arrange medical personnel. Zhang Yi checked his body and found no injuries, declining medical resources. Deng Xintong was still bleeding from the corner of his mouth due to compound number 5 but seemed completely unaffected and chatted with Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi asked how Deng Xintong escaped from Jiangning City. Deng Xintong smiled mysteriously and said it was just an illusion, referring to his great Sumeru illusion ability which could use light to control a person's vision and affect the 5 senses. Zhang Yi then asked about the Epsilon-level superhuman in Xingjing's abilities. Deng Xintong said he didn't know, and warned Zhang Yi that it might be something like black magic or a curse requiring a medium, so Zhang Yi should be careful of what's around him. After Deng Xintong finished speaking, a medical team arrived. The Deng family had their own medical personnel to examine Deng Xintong, while the medical department personnel came on Xu Zhang's orders, resulting in a larger number of medical staff on Zhang Yi's side. A doctor asked Zhang Yi if he felt unwell anywhere, with several young nurses looking at him with admiration and worship, as Zhang Yi had become a hero in all of Blizzard City. Zhang Yi waved his hand saying he was fine and not injured, but the doctor insisted he have a comprehensive examination, warning that hidden injuries during combat could be life-threatening. Zhang Yi recalled Deng Xintong's words about being careful of what's around him, and felt uneasy about a full checkup, wondering if it would mean blood tests or having something else removed from his person. He cautiously stepped back, saying he had his own private doctor, and left the scene. Zhang Yi returned to his villa in Area A. The entire city was under martial law, searching for reincarnation squad members and purging those associated with them. Zhang Yi wasn't interested in any of this, but all day long the wailing of sirens could be heard throughout Blizzard City. He couldn't leave at this point as all external communication signals were blocked, so he lay in bed to rest. Later, Tu Yunlai returned with his team, and after resting, the Tengdu squad also returned to Blizzard City, immediately joining the operation to eliminate the rebels. A thorough investigation quickly revealed who had colluded with the Reincarnation Squad, as Blizzard City was relatively small with its 2 million inhabitants divided into strict hierarchical classes. Bai Li Changqing also returned to Blizzard City, having absorbed the primordial power of Degong Hui Yanjin, saving his life. Upon returning, Bai Li Changqing's first stop was the home of his old sergeant, Wu Zhengheng, who had deactivated the command center's security system for the reincarnation squad. Wu Zhengheng was at home feeding his son medicine in his sickbed, while his wife chattered anxiously. His son suffered from congenital heart disease, which had flared up after the apocalypse, leaving him bedridden for over 6 months. Bai Li Changqing had come alone to give his former comrade-in-arms a final moment of dignity. Wu Zhengheng calmly stated that Bai Li Changqing was there to see him, and asked for a few words before leaving. He explained everything to his wife, who burst into tears. Bai Li Changqing remained unmoved, his heart filled with anger. Bai Li Changqing asked why Wu Zhengheng became a traitor. Wu Zhengheng sighed and said that when you reach his age and your wife and children desperately need money, you'll understand. He said he'd risked his life for those above him his whole life and couldn't even support his own wife and children. Bai Li Changqing was speechless. Wu Zhengheng stretched out his hands, saying the winner takes all, and asked that his body be buried with his wife. Bai Li Changqing handcuffed him and promised to take care of his family. Wu Zhengheng choked with tears of gratitude, laughing through his tears. Similar situations were occurring throughout Blizzard City. Zhu Zhang read the report and sighed at the sheer scale of the reincarnation squad's rebellion. Lan Xinqing wanted to kill them all, but Zhu Zhang decided to handle the incident leniently, saying many were important technical personnel who didn't deserve death. He said humans are monsters loyal to their own desires, and the world is at fault. Most people received relatively light punishments, and the organizational structure of core departments was reshuffled. The purge in Blizzard City continued, and Zhang Yi had expected it to last a considerable amount of time. However, the purge ended much faster than expected. To prevent unrest within Blizzard City, Zhu Zhang chose a conciliatory approach, executing only a portion of the ringleaders. This earned Zhang Yi a higher opinion of Zhu Zhang, who showed decisiveness. When the Tengu squad returned to Blizzard City, Yang Xinxin also returned with them. Lian Yu was recuperating at home due to her injuries. Zhang Yi inquired about the current situation in Tianhai City. Yang Xinxin's answer left Zhang Yi somewhat disheartened. Although the local forces hadn't participated in the main battle against Eclipse Moon, they had still suffered heavy losses. The major base organizations lost another 30% of their forces in the battle against the Celestial Dragon Pirates. Zhang Yi said he didn't want to see Tianhai City become a ghost town, and he wasn't worried about anyone eyeing their shelter now that they had strength. Yang Xinxin suggested bringing forward the childbearing age to recover the population, like in ancient times. Zhang Yi shook his head, saying life is short and why think so far ahead. He asked about Lian Yu and Uncle Yu. Yang Xinxin said Lian Yu's arm was badly injured with shattered bones, but Zhou Core helped set the bones and she'd be fine after rest. Uncle Yu's self-healing ability was amazing and he didn't need Zhou Core's help. Fatty Su stayed in the back the whole time and didn't get a scratch. Zhang Yi nodded in satisfaction, glad everyone at home was alright. Zhang Yi closed his eyes and lay on the sofa, feeling they could finally have a good rest. The turmoil within the Jiangnan region had been quelled, and the Eclipse Moon and Celestial Dragon pirate squads had been wiped out. The only thing to worry about was the escaped reincarnation squad, which was on the wanted list throughout the entire Huashu kingdom with an S-rank mission. Zhang Yi wasn't too worried about Gao Changkong retaliating, as Gao Changkong was a smart man who wouldn't do anything pointless. His target was always the high-ranking officials of Blizzard City. Zhang Yi guessed he'd go into hiding and wait for a suitable opportunity. The news report announced that the original reincarnation squad, led by Captain Gao Changkong, had betrayed the people and their ideals, colluding with Japanese Ronin and causing immense damage to the Jiangnan region. Under Zhu Zhang's leadership, the Jiangnan region united and thwarted their plot. The captain of the Tengu squad, codenamed Chaos, bravely faced hardships and led from the front, thwarting the Eclipse Moon organization and the pirate gang. He was specially commended. Any citizen with information about reincarnation squad members must report it. Zhang Yi was eating breakfast watching the news report. Zhu Zhang's propaganda department had raised Zhang Yi as a new banner to reassure the people. Zhang Yi planned to bid farewell to Zhu Zhang and return to Tianhai City. As he left the villa, the guards saluted him respectfully. When he stepped out the gate, he heard gasps and screams. A crowd had gathered outside the fence, men and women, excitedly chanting his codename Chaos. Among them were young beautiful women, married women, and sons of high-ranking officials. No one took photos due to regulations prohibiting unauthorized photography. Zhang Yi smiled and waved, raising the screens to a new level. He recalled Gao Changkong's treatment back then and thought, wow, now I'm an idol. In the apocalypse, people need an idol as emotional support. Zhang Yi told a guard he needed to go to headquarters, and the guard brought his assigned vehicle.